years ago, this absolute legend
1 million views!
dropped one of the best tutorials on making gaming subtitles in Premiere Pro.
It was perfect.
Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park. There was this problem with it. Using his method, you had to type out every single letter in the whole video. Basically, it was manual work.
Emmanuel.
Was it his fault?
Absolutely fucking.
You see, in his video, Finn kind of mentions that you can actually use the captions feature to auto-add subtitles. But the bummer is you can't really tweak them much. They're pretty much set in stone. And then, get this, exactly 1 month later, Adobe adds a feature where you can actually turn these captions into graphics layers so you could do anything you want with them.
Anything, huh?
Anything.
And with that specific update, a whole new era of editing was born. But unfortunately, the legend hasn't uploaded an update on the update. And in this video, I'm gonna spill the beans on all the tricks to master this feature. I will hold your hand and walk you through all the settings that I use for short form, long form, any form, and how to cook up a bunch of cool effects that you can drag and drop right onto your captions. I might also toss a couple of free presets. Don't hold me to it, I'm just saying. So without further ado, let's get cooking. First things first, after you have your rough cut, go to the text panel. First, we're gonna transcribe our video, and then we're gonna create our captions from that transcription. Go to the transcript tab, click on these three dots, hit generate static transcript. The language is English. If you have a couple of different speakers in the video, you can say, yeah, they're separate speakers. Audio on track, this is gonna be the audio line that it's gonna create the transcript for. So we have ours at A1, audio 1, so I'm gonna choose audio 1. Transcribe. Now there are a couple of tricks that I do in this step that help me make captions better and faster. First off, you gotta go through the whole text and fix up any spelling mistakes. I don't really like when I have dots and commas in my subtitle, so I'm just gonna delete them automatically instead of going through the whole text and then just hitting delete. How we do that? In the search bar, type a dot and then hit replace. Don't put anything in the replace with, just say replace all, and then it's going to replace every single dot with, well, nothing, because we didn't put anything in the replace with bar. And then we'll do the same process for commas. Now that we have our transcript, hit on CC to create captions and then open up this bar. We're not going to create a style here because I rather do that in the essential graphics tab, but we are going to tweak the bottom half of the setting. For short form content, I don't really like to put that many words in one sentence because we don't have the space, and I like to make my words bigger. But for long form videos, since they're wider and we do have the space, we can put more words and letters in one sentence. I will show you the settings I use for both. So the first line of the setting says maximum length in characters. It's basically saying how many characters can each line of the caption have at max. I'm gonna put this one at 10 to 15 for short form. And the minimum duration in seconds, it's a minimum duration of each caption layer. So I will drag it all the way down, because the more this number is, the longer each caption layer is gonna stay on the video. And then choose single lines. You can select double like Hormozi style, but with this setting, the captions don't even get that long to need double lines. So I'm gonna put it as single. Create captions. Now we're gonna give this bullshit text some style. It looks so basic now. We're gonna give it the oomph. So select the caption layer, go to the essential graphics. Now we're gonna do the magic here right from the top. Choose your font. I normally use a font called Constant. On extra bold, increase the size a bit up to 80 maybe, and then make sure the text is center aligned. This one can be actually really helpful because I used to make my subtitles on all caps, and this one just does that. But now I only use this for the words that I want to emphasize on. These 9 boxes are not for playing EXO. Hit the one in the middle and then change the position to bring the subtitle right under the speaker's chin. Perfect. Scroll down. I see this huge mistake people make when choosing the color of their subtitles, which is the subtitle doesn't have any contrast with the background, so it blends in and no one can really read the text. I choose a color between yellow and orange because it really looks good with the blue background I got here. And then I choose a black stroke. I don't really put that much of a stroke. I like to have a subtle shadow, so I lower the opacity and then increase the softness ever so slightly. In the next step, I'm going to show you an essential effect that I put on every single set of subtitles on every single video that I make that makes the captions pop out even more from the background. But for now, this is good. To apply this to all of the captions, we're going to scroll back up, and you can save this style to use it in the future. You just have to select create style and then just name it. I will name mine yellow. And then if you click on that arrow that's pointing up, it's gonna apply the caption to all of the other captions in the timeline. Just choose all captions on track. Perfect, but we can't add any effects on these now. We're gonna turn them into regular text graphics layer. This is actually what's changed since Finn's video. Select all of the captions, go to graphics and titles, upgrade caption to graphic. Where'd they go? Oh, they're up here. God damn, I have so many video tracks. Let me just bring them down. Alright, now that we've turned these boys into graphics layer, we can pretty much mess with them however we like. I've got a load of cool animations that I usually slap onto my subtitles, and we're gonna run through a bunch in a sec. But just remember that your imagination is the only limit here. First off, the most essential effect that's gonna make your text pop off from the background. In the search bar, search V or glow, and then drop that boy onto the text. Change the luma threshold from 0.9 to 0.2, the glow brightness to 1.3, and then the saturation to 3. Look how much of a difference it makes. It looks way better. Another effect that I dropped on my subtitles is a drop shadow. I know we could add it when we were creating its style, but I just like to drop another one because I can sometimes animate the shadow too. Now select these two, right click, save preset, and then call it something like main text effect. Now put this one back in its place and then select all of the captions except the one we just made because this one already has the effect, and then search up the effect you just created from the effects tab and drop it on all of these guys. Now all of them have glow and shadow. Don't worry about the rest, we'll fix them in a second. Now we get to the fun stuff. We're gonna create some animations for our texts. The first one is the most famous, most basic, basically the YouTube default effect. In the effects panel, search up transform, drop it on your text layer, and in the effects control, create a keyframe for the scale. Go forward 3 frames, put the scale at 110, go forward 2 frames, and then put it back at 100. And then using this arrow, go back to the first one and change this one down to 70. And then select all of them, right click, ease in, right click, ease out to smooth it a bit. And to give it a bit of motion blur, drag the value of shadow angle all the way to the right. Now we have this pop-in effect. Now to drop it on all of the other captions, save it as a preset as always, just make sure to anchor it to the endpoint. This is gonna make sure that every time you drop this effect on a layer, the distance between keyframes is gonna stay the same and they're gonna always appear at the start of the layer instead of at the end. Now select all of the text layers and drop the pop-in effect on all of them. Don't worry about the rest, we'll fix them in a second. This next effect that I'm about to show you, honestly I've never seen anyone else use it. You probably have seen it in the intro and I call it the RGB text effect. Here's how to make it. Search up chromatic aberration and drop it over the VR glow in the effects control. You can already see that it's made some RGB effects, but we're gonna animate this shit. Increase the green aberration by 5 and then create a keyframe for all 3 aberrations. Go forward by 5 frames and then bring all of them down back to 0. Now I'll copy the effect and paste it on all of the other captions except the one we just create the effect on, and this is what we're gonna have. Don't worry about the rest, we'll fix them in a second. But I don't really use this one back to back to back because it can be annoying after a while, so I drop it on a couple of layers and then leave the rest to pop-ins and other effects that we're gonna create in part 2. Oh wait, I didn't say this video is going to be in 2 parts? Well, if you're really invested in becoming a better editor, then I'm going to hook you up with some of my text presets in the link in the description down below for free. And hey, you know that cool highlight effect you've seen throughout this video? I've got a tutorial on that one too. Just click here and you're all set. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.